played that role so good. He played that. Calm down. Oh my God, y'all. I am going. Y'all are tugging at my heartstrings. Make it stop. Make it stop. I can't take any more of this. Stop showing that black old man, because it's making me feel like I know him, like he's my neighbor and I gotta go protect him. But I'm in the bed on a Xanax watching this. I'm confused. What's real? What's not real? I'm losing my mind. The writing, it really immersed you in this episode. So much to the point where I had to take a whole Xanax shot because I'm like, I can't take this. I don't think you should go. And she's saying, nigga, I'm gonna go anyway. Like,
what's coming?
Welcome to another episode of the That's Scary with Melanie P podcast. Today we are talking Paradise. Oh my God, Hulu's Paradise. When I tell you, watching last night's episode, I had to take a Xanax. I did. My heart was racing. My heart was racing watching this show. And it was a lot. I went through a lot of emotions, y'all, but let's get into it. So I'm going to let you know, spoiler alert. I'm going to insert the countdown for the spoiler alert. All right, y'all. So on this week's episode of Paradise, like, I am still having chills about Paradise. Now, I'm going to ask you one of the main questions that I have seen floating around the TikTok streets. And it's like, who was wrong? Who was wrong in this episode? Some people are saying that Xavier was wrong. Some people are saying that the president was wrong. Some people are saying that the wife was wrong. Who do you think was wrong? I'll be honest with you. Y'all, look at my nails. Oh my God. I'm gonna be honest with you. The wife. So everybody holds a bit of wrongness in this episode. And let me say this. The acting is top tier. The acting in this freaking Paradise series on Hulu is top tier. Like, I still feel like I got chills and anxiety from watching this episode last night. But anyway, let's get into it. So who was wrong? So I really feel like my first thought on who is wrong is the wife and Xavier. And I'm going to tell you why. As the president, you cannot tell somebody that, hey, the world might come to an end. Don't tell nobody. Like, as a president, you cannot tell somebody that point blank, period. I really feel like, Mr. President, that scene, no one is talking about that. That scene where the president looked Xavier in the eye and said something to the effect of, your wife shouldn't go. Or he said without saying your wife shouldn't go. He said it in a very innocuous way. And he said it in an innocuous way because of the fact that he can't tell. Like, he literally cannot tell. As the president, he cannot tell his security guard, child, the Secret Service, just because it's his friend, that the world coming to an end, or the world may be coming to an end sooner than we think. You have to understand the backlash of saying and alluding to the fact that the world may come to an end. So I feel like the president did the best job that he could do as the president with this vital information. And he tried to tell him without telling him. Okay, so that's that. Let's put that in that bucket, okay? Now, Xavier having that information and Xavier telling his wife, I don't think you should go. And she's saying, nigga, I'm gonna go anyway. Like, here is what I feel like people are not saying. Xavier, he ain't working in the call center. Xavier, he's not the postman. He's not the garbage man. He works as the #1 protector in the Secret Service to the president. So you think that my husband is #1 in the Secret Service to the president of the United States, and he says, listen, I would not get on that plane if I was you. I'm gonna be like, child, I'm going anyway. Like, no. So now I was telling my friend about this because she was watching it too. She was in the bed watching it, child, having an anxiety attack. She had to turn it off and turn it back on, because it was a lot. Lord Jesus, because it was a lot to ingest. And I feel like watching it at night as you're supposed to be winding down for bed probably wasn't the best look. But she kind of compared it to global warming. She was saying that the parallel to this would be Everybody knows about global warming. Everybody knows that this is a serious, serious issue, but people probably aren't taking it as seriously as they should. So if somebody came up to you tomorrow and said, hey, global warming, I think on Sunday, we all gonna burn to death. You know, how serious would you take that? You know what I'm saying? So even with the Weird Al Yankovic dude, who was talking about it at that seminar that nobody attended when it was just Sinatra and the president, he seemed very convicted that we ain't got time. The world gonna come to an end. This is how it's gonna happen. And Sinatra listened to it and the president listened to it, but Sinatra listened to it a whole lot more, and she began prepping. So I guess, you know, we are just the viewer. We're the viewer. We're seeing all angles. We're seeing the future, the past, the present. So we're making judgments and, you know, opinions based off of knowing all the information. So it's kind of difficult to like look at it in a way of like, this is what I would do because I know what's about to happen. But I do want to confidently say that I feel like Xavier should have put his foot down a tad bit more. One thing about this whole these last couple of episodes and just this series in general is Xavier is all-knowing, prepared, proactive, like he's the ultimate protector, period. But when it comes to his wife, he feels like she don't listen to me. And that's just very, very interesting to me, and it's something that actually stands out. I get it. They portraying this black woman as a strong, independent black woman child who ain't gonna do nothing. I ain't gonna listen to you. I ain't gonna listen to you. I'm going to this trip anyway. And I don't remember what the hell trip was this. I know it was a work trip, but what was so important that you had to go to Atlanta? I don't know. But yeah, I just feel like Xavier should have put his foot down a little bit more. So I will say that. Now, this last episode was full of so much emotions. Like the acting, the writing, it really immersed you in this episode. So much to the point where I had to take a whole Xanax shot because I'm like, I can't take this. And you know, here's the scary part to me. We look at the world we're living in now. We look at the turmoil of the world that we're living in now. And I think that's where my anxiety was elevated watching last night's episode, because let's say this was the previous administration and everything wasn't perfect in the previous administration, but this current administration and the state of the world now is at a very diabolical level. And knowing that, seeing every single day, several times a day, the shit that's being fed to us on the news and the shit that's being fed to us on our social media platforms and the shit that's being fed to us as the alerts coming through our phone is all diabolical. Can somebody just fast forward to the next 4 years? Because it's too much. And especially like having children, especially having a young child, you look at these Paradise series, you look at the state of the world, and it just gives you anxiety. So yeah. All right. So the emotions, let's talk about the emotions, the acting top tier, seeing the text messages, seeing how the text messages were saying that they failed, you know, as a man in Xavier's case, protecting the president, protecting your 2 young kids, and protecting your wife and protecting yourself all simultaneously. Like the way that Xavier, who is played by our sexy boo, Sterling K. Brown, he portrayed the feelings and the emotions and the anxiety and the just trying to like, you know, multitask, which is such a low level word for what he had to do. He portrayed that in such an amazing way. So much to the point where I had to take a whole Xanax. So let's go back. So another thing that happened that stood out to me that was so just uneasy was the lady who was it Eric? I feel like Eric. So the lady who worked under the president, I think she might have been his secretary, and she had her son, I want to say his name was Adam or Eric, and she kept looking at Xavier and she kept saying, hey, what's going on? Hey, what do I need to know? Hey, do I need to get my son? Do I need to call the daycare? You I ran up the stairs just now. As a mom that has a kid in daycare, seeing the emotions, the look on her face, the roller coaster of feelings that the lady that was under the president who kept looking at Xavier saying, hey, do I need to go pick up my son from daycare? And you could argue the fact that, well, Xavier was just as wrong as the president, right? Because he had information. He knew what was going on. He knew that a certain group of people was going to safe places and the rest of y'all was going to burn or whatever, and he didn't tell the lady. So can he really be mad at the president? Because he did the same exact thing for the benefit and the safety of people around them. That was a lot. Like, as a parent, as someone that has, I have a kid that's about to go to college but is currently in high school, and then I have a child in daycare, just putting yourself in that position, what the F could you have done? And it kind of goes back to what I was saying, like, okay, well, the wife should have listened. But then if you're in that situation and you're someone who's working in the Oval Office and you're just kind of peeping the room and peeping the energy and you're like, something don't seem right, something is about to go down, would you be like, fuck this, I'm out of here. I'm about to go get my kid and get my husband and we're about to be together at least? It just makes you think. It just really, really makes you think, especially with the world that we live in. It makes you think about shit you really don't want to think about, but you should be thinking about, just to be honest. But you don't want to think about. Looking at that woman, looking at that mother, and looking at the panic in her eyes. And it goes like, you see in real time the roller coaster of emotion. It goes from looking around to, I know something's going down, to, should I get my kid, to, listen, fuck me, I don't care about me, promise me that you're going to make sure my kid is okay. Like, it goes through all those emotions. So you have that going down. Then you have, like I said, Xavier, he has a cell phone. He's making sure his kids are okay. Okay, cool. Those are your babies. Those are your little kids, not even grown. Those are your little kids. So you're thinking about that. Like, think about it. Those are your little kids that you're not with and shit's about to go down. Put that in that bucket. Then your wife is in a whole nother state and you don't know if the calls are going through. You don't know if she's getting this message. Okay, cool. But I'm still trying to protect the president. So finally, I loved how he was balancing it all to the best of his ability. The people around him, that that Secret Servant guy who they ended up killing, who tried to get on the plane. I loved how Sterling Brown, Xavier, was having people say, hey, give me 5 minutes. Let me go do this. So he's still managing and moving the pieces of being a Secret Servant person and making sure things are still calm as much as they can be at the Oval Office, while trying to take 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there to protect your wife from the world ending, who's in another state. So the calls that did get through, that was a lot. That was truly, truly a lot. Now, the way that they kept zoning in on the Black elderly man cleaning the Oval Office, Lord, I said, y'all are tugging at my heartstrings. Make it stop. I can't take any more of this. Like, stop showing that Black old man, because it's making me feel like I know him, like he's my neighbor and I gotta go protect him, but I'm in the bed on a Xanax watching this. I'm confused. What's real? What's not real? I'm losing my mind. Like, literally, stop showing the Black man, because it's making it too real for me. I cannot take it. So yeah, that was, again, chef's kiss. The level of writing, the level of intentionality, the level of allowing the viewer to feel the emotions of what the actors was feeling, and the actors astonishingly and amazingly portraying the emotions that the viewer felt, is just chef's kiss. Now, here's the crazy thing. So Xavier was able to go to wherever he went to in the Oval Office and find the best, quickest route for his wife to get from, where she was to safely to the plane, to get her safe, right? Now, think about this. One of those planes, as they were leaving, crashed. And I'm wondering if that would have been the plane that she would have been on. I don't know, but I just remember when they were both like when the planes were leaving the Oval Office to go to safety, one of those planes ended up crashing. And I wonder, probably not, but I just wonder if that could have been a plane that she could have been on, which, you know, whatever. So where are we? So yeah, the older black man, that was sad. The president gives this fake ass speech, you know, and again, I love how the president, again, I can't say enough how great the acting was, because the president played the part of, yeah, I'm the president, but really I'm a puppet. I mean, yeah, I'm making decisions, but I'm really a puppet. I was told to give this fake ass speech to the Americans, but I'm looking at this older black man who just dusting away like he gonna be here tomorrow. It showed all of those feelings and those emotions. So he gives a fake ass speech. Then he's like, you know what? This man talking about going to see his grandkid tomorrow. They ain't gonna be no tomorrow. So you know what? Let me just keep it a book. So I loved that. I love that piece in the episode. Like I just cannot keep saying it. Like it literally, the acting, the intensity, everything was just top tier. So he goes back and he keeps it a book. Now, here's the question that I want to ask. Should he have kept it a book? Because somebody made a good point and said, if he hadn't have kept it a buck and went back and told everybody to say their goodbyes, Xavier's wife could have got on a plane, could have made it to the plane safely, and we wouldn't have a series at the end of the day, but she could have made it to the plane safely and met her kids in paradise, you know. No pun intended. And I almost feel like, yeah, it was great that the president grew a pair of balls at the end and told everybody, but could that have been a truly selfish act? It came off when I was watching it like, oh, wow, this is so selfless. This is great. He wants to give everybody a chance to say their goodbyes, but you doing that is truly going to cause chaos. I don't know. I just don't know, thinking about it now, if he did a good thing by keeping it a buck and telling the people that, hey, nigga, y'all about to die. Y'all about to die. So go ahead and say y'all goodbyes. Like, I don't know if that was a good thing or a selfish thing. Like, was that a selfish act, or was that just like, I'ma feel bad looking at this old black man talking about seeing his kids. You're going to die regardless. Like, you're literally going to die regardless. So like, I want to give them the hope that they need to go get some milk and water and eggs, you know, like for, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think that him telling them the way he did was the best thing. Now, again, this is not a true story, girl, I hope. But I just don't think that he should have told them the truth. And if he wanted to tell them something a little bit more, something a little less Mr. Rogers and something a little bit more reality TV, meaning like maybe he could have worded it differently, you know? Because then people wouldn't have had to die, like wouldn't have had to be shot. So I do kind of think that was a selfish act on the president's end. All right, now fast forward. Now here is the kicker. We all knew, and the president knew, that by telling the American people and the people in the office that you niggas about to die, like he knew that by telling them that, what you think gonna happen? It's calm in the White House. It's calm right now. People maybe just going to get a little bit of eggs and milk, right? Some canned goods or whatever. But you know good and damn well when you tell them to say your goodbyes, people aren't going to just, oh, snap, let me go ahead and tell my neighbor, thank you for getting my mail yesterday, because you know what? We about to die. Like, it's not going to be like that. You know what I'm saying? So he knew what was going to happen. And so where I'm going with that part is like, if you're in the Oval Office and you're listening to this and you know that the president is going to be protected and you know that they're going to take the president somewhere safe, we always hear all this talk about bunker this, bunker that. People got these bunkers, child. And now I'm about to get me a whole bunker. I'm about to find me a bunker. I'm about to go get with my family and close friends and figure out, hey, let's get this bunker situation going on, because this is giving The Simpsons. This is giving The Simpsons. It is too many TV shows about the world coming to an end. The Walking Dead. It's just giving too much of The Simpsons, child. And I'm starting to think. If you're in that Oval Office and you know the president's going somewhere safe, you think he's going to be like, well, y'all have a good one. Even the like security guards who saw Xavier and the other security guard and the president get on the elevator to go somewhere, we know somewhere safe. That's wild that you just said, okay, y'all go ahead and be safe. I'm going to just guard this elevator. That is wild. And it's funny because if you pay attention to the other security guard who was with Xavier, he got on that elevator and I knew, like, listen, let's keep it a buck. You know that he's sitting there. Yeah, he's being safe. Yeah, he's protecting the president. But you know, in his mind, he thinking, thank God I'm with these people. Like, thank God I'm with the people who gonna be saved. You know that he's sitting in the back of that elevator, trying to be quiet as possible, trying to just blend in with everybody in the elevator because he tried to get on that plane, which we know he don't make it on the plane. Okay, so let's fast forward. Now, the black lady, what is her name? Y'all, my internet's messed up, so I'll insert her name on the screen because now I can't find her name. But the black lady who's also, I guess, over Sterling, who is the love interest of the president, she get on my nerves. I really wish they would have casted somebody else to play that role because her face shape and her chin, she's given American Dad energy, and I just can't take her seriously. When they zoom in, when she gives an order, when she's intimate with the president, I'm thinking about American Dad, just period, point blank. But she was doing her job. Like she playing her role and she doing her job. Kudos to her. When she said she was going back, I said, girl. But again, you know that she makes it because she ends up in paradise. So that's really good. All right, fast forward. Y'all, I'm getting chills thinking about it. When Xavier and the president and they're outside and they're running to the helicopter and Xavier stops. That point where Xavier stops. Because he's like, he cannot leave his wife. Give that man an Oscar or a Grammy or whatever you give the people who are actors. He played that role. That scene where he is running with the president, the fact that he gave the president his bulletproof vest, why do the president not have a bulletproof vest? Is beyond me. Like, why would the president not have a bulletproof vest? Why would Xavier have to take off his bulletproof vest and not give the president and give the president his bulletproof vest is crazy. If anything, he don't need to be able to be switching them ties. He need to be putting on his, bulletproof vest. But that scene where he's just hesitating, he's like, what do I do? What do I do? Like, I can't leave her. And then he's like, how soon did you know? Like that scene was just too much. It was just full of emotion, full of just sadness. Did I cry? Maybe? I don't know. And it's like, okay, do you go be with your kids or do you go be with your wife? Because look, let's think about this. You know this shit's about to go down. I don't remember if they knew how the world was going to end. I don't know, but obviously he knew that it was going to be bad. So you got to feel horrible at the thought of the love of your life being out there, woman, by herself. When he said steal a car, he played that role so good. He played that role so good because it's like he was trying, calm down. He was trying to remain calm. You could tell that, like, oh my God, y'all, I am going. The level of skill, the level of whatever that he had that allowed him to try his best to remain calm, but still give his wife the orders. Hey, repeat this back to me. Repeat this back to me. Stay off the highway. Get on Route 6. This, that, and the third. Like, he just played the fuck out of that role. But anyway, just the thought of, your wife out there by herself. You don't know if she's going to make it. You don't know, what's going to happen. Too much. The president did all he could do, child. And I love the relationship between the president and Xavier. And now I understand why Xavier said that he was glad that the president, was dead. Because I didn't understand why he had malicious feelings not malicious feelings, but why he felt a certain type of way towards the president. And now I know why. I don't want to make this too long because it was just so much and I don't want to keep screaming. So yeah, Xavier has to say what he gonna do. Imagine. Matter of fact, don't imagine because it's too much. But if you can imagine all the emotions, like I'm just sitting here thinking, my kids. Well, again, thank God my kids are there. And here, let's be honest. At least your kids are with you. You know what I'm saying? Like, at least your kids are with you. Oh, God, no. That's awful. That's awful. Because I'm thinking about my loved ones. I'm thinking about, yeah. Anyway, They have that horrible scene. What do you call it? The Secret Service guy who was trying to blend in the elevator. He like, hold up. I'm getting on this damn helicopter too. Why didn't they let him get on the helicopter? There was a whole seat. I don't understand that. Like, why they didn't let him get on the helicopter? Like, the seat is right there. He's right there. I didn't get. There's a whole empty seat, but you telling him to go back and, like, that's crazy. That's crazy work. So then as the helicopter goes away, another great writing situation. The lady who kept telling Xavier to that her son's blood was going to be on his hands, her walking to that plane, or walking up and watching the helicopter and looking Xavier in his eyes as the plane helicopter ascends up, and she's sitting there just looking at him in his eye. Lord Jesus, who wrote this? Because this is crazy. It's like every time you think that you're safe to take a deep breath, then another great scene happens and you're going crazy. But that was really great. So then fast forward, what happens? They get on the plane, they get on the helicopter. He meets up with his kids. They go on the plane, whatever the case might be. And this scene, now, first of all, I'm gonna just try to wrap this up, child, because it's getting kind of long. But you know, Xavier having to be there for his kids, he was there for his kids. I love how the president, even though he's going through all of this, I really feel like he considers Xavier a friend, and he still goes to Xavier, even though he's the president, and he apologizes and he tries to comfort him as much as he can. And then I think another kind of selfish act, like, is it a selfish or selfless act that he put that blue button there, the blue button that was going to turn everything off? Like, I'm kind of confused on that piece. Like, he had the blue button that if he pressed it, it would allow people to have a chance, I guess. Like, I don't know. I really don't have a thought or an opinion on which is worse. And then finally, Sinatra, child. I know Sinatra is just an actress, but she is playing this role a little bit too good, because her name is Julianne Nicholson, and she's playing Sinatra. She playing this role a little bit too good, and I'll never forgive her. Sinatra, I will never forgive you for what you did. I'll never forgive you for your negative energy. I'll never forgive you for being evil. I'll never forgive you. Period, point blank. I will never forgive you, Sinatra. You play this role too good, because I will never forgive you. What a bitch. Like, what a bitch. It's certain people, very few, in this world that I have a strong desire to get in a boxing ring and beat they ass. One of them is D. Becker. You know who you are. Come get this work. D. Becker. Come get this work. And then the other one is Sinatra. Now, I know she's just an actress, whatever, but, you know, I want to fight her. Whatever, but she playing her role, child. It is what it is. What is Xavier going to do? And I'm sitting here thinking, is his wife really alive, or is that a recording? And the fact that his daughter is with that stupid ass Jane, played by Nicole Brendan Bloom, the fact that Jane got his daughter, again, I know it's not real. I know it's a TV show, but Jane, I want to get Jane in the ring. Now, I don't know. Jane she might put me up. You know, she might give me a little bit of a fight. I ain't gonna lie, because she just looked evil. Like, to me, Jane looked more evil than Sinatra a little bit. And can we talk about how fine Billy Page is? I was mad that he died. I knew he was gonna die, because you can kind of tell that they're working up to him about being about to die, child, by Jane. Billy Page, if you watching this, hit up my DM, child. I'm joking. Billy Page is his fine ass. Ooh, his beard, his masculine, his tall. He over there fighting for our rights. He's a changed man. He loves Xavier's kids. I'm getting chills again. But anyway, I don't know. So yeah, let me know what you think is going to happen. Give me your thoughts on Paradise on this episode, y'all. What is he going to do? He has that bitch. Sinatra has his daughter. You know what? Honestly, I would blow her brains out right there. Period, point blank. She's done too much. She ain't the only person who got some information and some intel. Blow her brains out. Pow. Blow her brains out. Let me know what you think, guys. Let me know what you think of this week's episode. Did you take a little bit of anxiety medication while you was watching this like me? Let me know if you think that, you know, who was wrong? Who was wrong in this? Was it the president? Was it Xavier? Was it his wife? Let's chit chat about this below in the comments. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you follow what I'm gonna put it right here. Make sure you follow the What Was Said podcast with me and my co-host Simba's Lounge. We go live every single week, Monday night and Thursday night. We love you. See you in the next episode.